Hi everyone, welcome back to Cottoverdi. My name's Annette, and if you're new to my channel, welcome, do subscribe. You'll see loads of videos about things that we're doing in our English country garden here in the UK. We live in South Buckinghamshire, which is equivalent to a zone 8B/9A. We get down to about -5. Anyway, today I thought I'd bring you along and show you what I'm going to be putting in some of my patio containers. I've already potted a few up, and I'll put a link in the description below for the previous video where I potted up some containers for the patio this summer with things that I grew myself from seed, but also some other plants. Anyway, today is going to be slightly different because these are not things I've grown from seed. These are annuals and perennials. Now, I love to put perennials in the containers for this season because then once everything's finished for the season, in the autumn, we can plant them out. Oh, the sun's just come out, how lovely. Then we can plant them out into our borders. So they sort of get double duty and they have a life after the patio containers. Anyway, I thought I'd bring you along, show you what I've chosen. Hopefully they're going to be gorgeous, colourful plants, beautiful containers, especially for the wedding celebration we're going to be having in our garden in July. So I really do want them to look beautiful. So the containers I'm using are pretty ordinary standard terracotta containers. Some of them have suffered some damage on the rim. They're supposed to be frostproof, but they clearly aren't completely frostproof because they have been damaged, not these. But we did also use some yogurt and moss to sort of age the planters when we first originally bought them. And I've got a video about how we did that in case you're interested. So I think they look really nice and rustic. And these are also exactly the same pots that we had tulips in. So I've taken the tulips out and I've reused the compost at the bottom. So I've made sure it hasn't got too many of the roots from the tulips. And this is nice sort of friable compost. You can see how dry it's been. The compost just isn't even remotely wet. So I've sort of got just less than half a container with the old compost in, and then I've started adding new compost to it. So I'm just going to put a little bit more compost in here. So what I do is I top it up with fresh compost. So the very top of the pot has got the fresh compost, and then I also am going to add some slow released fertilizer. So even though the compost is fresh, I sort of give it a boost with the slow release fertilizer. So let me show you what I've chosen for the first pot. Now for each of these pots, I'm going to plant up 2 that are identical because we've got some really wide steps and I like to put the same container on both sides of the steps, not necessarily in exactly the same arrangement, but definitely the same color scheme on both sides. So I plant up 2 identically, if that makes sense. Let me show you what's going in the first one. So my central plant, and all of these patio containers are 360. So the central plant in the first container is going to be this Perovskea. This one is called Prime Time. It's fully hardy, it gets down to -12. So I'm definitely going to be able to pop that into my borders when we've finished with it. And it's got, just starting, some gorgeous sort of little lilac-y blue buds on it. Now, it says that this is going to grow to 1.25 metres tall, so about 4 foot, I think. Is that 4 foot? Yes, that's 4 foot. So it's going to get pretty tall. Now, I don't know if it'll do that when it's in the pot because it's not going to have the same sort of root run and probably not going to have the same sort of moisture as it would have when it's in the border. So once it's in the border, it will definitely get to that height. But I don't anticipate it getting that tall this year. However, I do have a plan just to prop it up just in case it does get that tall, and I'll show you that when I've finished. And then around it, I've got this gorgeous Nemesia. This one is called Lady Lisa, and it's this sort of purpley violet with little yellow specks. I think it's ever so pretty. And Nemesias smell so good. This one is sort of vanilla-y with a bit of clove in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that's going to go really nicely with the blue from the Perovskea. Then the other plant that I've got is already started flowering. And this is a Calibrachoa called Kalisa Double Blue. And I bought these as little plug plants and I potted them up into these 9 centimetre, sort of 3-inch containers, and they've been growing on in my cold frames. Sort of the cold frames have been open, so they've just been protected a bit from the wind. And so those are very similar colours but completely different textures. And this will be sort of the trailing one, and this is sort of the more upright plant, and I think they're going to be absolutely gorgeous around the outside of this perovskea. So let's get planting. So I'm going to pop 3 of these in, sort of in a triangle, and then I'm going to interplant them with the nemesia. I'm already super excited about this purpley blue container. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm just so excited. What I'm going to do now is something that I always do to my containers in the summer, and that is I sprinkle some grit on top. Now grit, somebody asked me what grit was. It's something that you can add to your compost to make it drain better, but it's also something you can sprinkle on top of containers or the ground, because what it'll do is it will help to suppress weeds, but it'll also help to retain moisture, so the compost won't bake. And especially with peat-free compost, which is what I use, the top does dry out really quickly, so it's much better if you can sprinkle something on top that protects the surface of the compost, and also just prevents the evaporation of all the water that you want to keep in the containers. And I find grit does the job, and also just has that sort of summery look to it, sets the plants off really nicely as well. My bag of grit is a little bit wet because it rained, and it's definitely easier to spread if it isn't quite so wet, because it will just fall off the shovel more easily. So I'm going to have to spread it a bit myself because, as I said, it's just a bit wet to sort of sprinkle easily. The sun's being a bit weird. I'm going to crouch down. So the other thing I'm going to do, because this perovskea could get really tall, it's Russian sage, by the way, that's the common name for it. Because it could get really tall, I'm going to put a little sort of, I don't know what you call this, like a topiary sort of thing in the pot. I think these look really pretty anyway, but they also do help to sort of, I'd be able to tie it into that if I see it flopping everywhere, which hopefully it won't do. I'm really hoping it's going to be a nice upright plant. So I'm just sort of going to gather it up and thread it through the middle like this. Try not to break any of the stems. Now I know this doesn't look very full at the moment, but it is going to fill out really quickly, especially if I feed it on a weekly basis. So that's the first container. Now I'm going to put up another container with different plants. So I've just done exactly the same thing. I've topped this pot up with some fresh compost, and now I'm just mixing in some plant food. In this one, I'm going to be planting some Gora. It's just starting to flower. This one is called Whirling Butterflies. Take the weed out. And I think Gora is just a really nice centerpiece. It's light and airy. Around the outside, I've got this gorgeous Verbena. It's incredibly bright. This one is called Showboat Burgundy, and it's going to grow to about 30 by 60. So they'll get quite big, but I'm going to put 3 in. Only one of them is in flower, but you just have to imagine the others flowering. And then the other thing that I'm planting along with it, and this is particularly because, this is for the patio is going to be used for the wedding celebration. This is a Calibrachoa called Double White, and it's just got these gorgeous double white flowers. And I think it's going to go really nicely with the pinky white of the Gora and also with this Showboat Burgundy. I think that is going to be very special indeed. So even though these plugs, I've had them for a few weeks, I don't feel like they've rooted in particularly well yet, but it's been a good sort of staging area for them. And I do keep my labels so that I can remember what I'm putting in each pot, or, you know, when I come to look at it later, if I'm really enjoying the plant, I want to make sure I know what it was. So both of these are trailing plants. The Calibrachoa and the Verbena are both trailers, but I really like that because these pots are on steps. It's really nice to have things that trail down a lot and not just the occasional one. Some of my pots I like to have more than the occasional bit. Now it feels like it's about to rain. The weather can't make up its mind today. I can't talk properly. So the next container is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Look at this Hebe. This Hebe is called Magic Summer. It's going to grow to about 70 centimetres, so it will get bigger eventually. Probably not in the pot this season. I think it'll just be a really nice centrepiece in the container. But once it goes into the borders, and obviously I've got two of these, once they go into the borders, they're going to grow to, you know, really nice mounds. But look at the colour. Magic Summer is gorgeous, and the new shoots are sort of this greeny colour. But oh my goodness, I love the red. This is one of the pots that's the rim has gone on it, but I don't think we're going to notice once things are crawling all over it. In this container, I am planting a Calibrachoa. This one is called Double Pink Bicolour, and look how beautifully that goes. I think that's absolutely stunning. Gorgeous Calibrachoa. And then the other thing that I'm going to be popping in here is a Bacopa. This Bacopa is a single white Bacopa, and I think it's called Snowflake. Yes, it's called Snowflake. And this is going to be another lovely trailer. So I need to make sure that I've got something growing over this patch here. So I am going to pop this in here. These are just so sweet and dainty. I absolutely love this Bacopa. It's gorgeous. Well, this is rooted in better. I can see roots at the bottom of it. But certainly the Calibrachoas have not rooted in particularly well since I've had them. This final container is quite exciting because I'm doing something I've never done before, and it is an experiment, but I'm going to give it a try because I think if it works, it's going to be stunning. So I'm going to be sowing wildflower seeds into this container. So I'm doing exactly the same as I did before. I'm just putting fresh compost on top of the spent compost, and I am going to put a little bit of plant food in there too. So the mix that I've chosen is an RHS mix, and it's a cool mix. It's a wildflower cool mix. So it's going to have sort of blues and whites, and they're all nectar rich, and they should flower, well, the last month you can sow them in is June. We're still in May, so I've still got time. And then they'll flower right the way through till October, hopefully. But the later you sow them, the later they'll flower. I'm hoping by sowing them now at the end of May that some of them are going to be in flower in July. Now, if they're not, they'll just be a nice massive greenery, probably. Let's see what happens. I am super excited. This is the first time I've done it, as I said. It says to shake the box, mix up all the seeds, and then, well, it says to open it from here, but actually I'm only sowing a little bit, so I don't want to open it at the side because I think everything will fall out. So I'm going to open it at the top. But it has got like a sprinkler thing if you wanted to sprinkle that out in your garden, if you had a prepared area. Now, if you sow wildflowers, if you sow wildflower seed, then it's important that it's bare ground and raked to a fine tilth sort of thing. Like the seeds need to settle on bare ground. If you just sling it on top of your grass, it's not going to work. They won't root in. So I think the seed is in amongst, yeah, there I can see seed there. So it's in amongst all of these husks. And we just sort of want to sprinkle it liberally. I'm digging down into the bottom of the box. I'm probably oversowing this, but I want to make sure something grows. I can see loads of little seeds in there. That's probably enough. Let's put a bit more over here. I think that's pretty well coated, and you can do succession sowing. So you could sow this every 2 weeks if you wanted to have a succession of plants. What I'm going to do is just pat this down to make sure everything has got really good contact with the compost. And then I'm going to sprinkle a bit more compost on top. You could just sort of mix it in like this, actually. Maybe that's what I'll do, is just sort of mix it in, because it says to sort of rake it in gently. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just pretending my hands are raked. And then all we have to do is water it in and protect it from the cats and anyone else that's going to bother it. So like birds, we don't want birds coming to peck at it. So I'm going to put something on top. What shall I put on top? I might put on top the chicken wire that I used for the tulips. Let me go and get that. So when I plant my tulips in containers, I put chicken wire on top to prevent the squirrels getting to them. And so I'm going to use exactly the same piece because we save them from year to year. Why not? So I'm going to use exactly the same piece of chicken wire to stop, hopefully, if I sort of raise it up a bit, it'll stop the birds being interested or the cats being interested. I think that might work. Now I'm going to plant up exactly the same containers again so that I've got one on each side of the steps, and we've got the same colour scheme. So they won't be in exactly the same spot, but the colour scheme will continue, and I just think it looks really pleasing and satisfying. I'm super excited about all the colours that I've got. The hebe here just keeps catching my eye. It's such a beautiful purple colour. I really love it. I really hope you've had fun with me as I planted these up. I am very excited and I've had a lot of fun. I really love doing this sort of thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.